right, this is page 22. We're looking at some very, very basic words describing angle measures. Some of this you already know, but I really liked this flipbook because of the vocab words acute, right, and obtuse, which is the last page. So I decided to go ahead and give it to you. We're going to flip to the first one where it says names. So you're going to take the title flap and gently, so it won't rip off, crease it and open it up. All right, what is an angle? It's an angle is formed by two non-collinear rays that have a common endpoint called the vertex. This is a vocab word that we've already been using. Remember, you can name an angle 4 different ways depending on the picture, right? This particular picture can be named 4 different ways. What letter is the vertex in this picture?
B.
B. I want you to, whatever I write, you write. Now I want you to name that angle 4 different ways right here. Name it 4 different ways. And then let's check and see if you named it, if you got all 4. Oh, let's see it. All right, let's see. You should be done. First, name that angle by a single letter. Has to be the vertex, right? So you could call it angle B. Now name it by 3 letters. A, B, C, or C, B, A. Notice what letter has to be the middle.
B.
The vertex has to be the middle letter. The 4th possible way to name it only works because the picture has it labeled this way. Would be the floating number right there, and you could call it angle 2. Okay? Yes. No, you have to name it by 3 letters. Because with an angle, you're tracing the angle. Okay? Now, gently fold the next flap, which says the names flap. You're folding it up so that now we're looking at what's called the interior or the exterior. This is self-explanatory, right? If somebody is on the interior of a house, it means they're inside. If they're on the exterior of a house, they're outside. You need to think of an angle as kind of like a beam of light that's opening up, and that'll help you to visualize the interior and then the exterior. So if you look at this picture right here, by the way, we are going to ignore point E because that's kind of one of those points that's there to make you hate math, and I don't like that. So we're ignoring E, okay? In my opinion, I can't even tell you what E is because it's conveniently lined up with ray BC, and so we're just ignoring it. We'll never have any like that. Okay, so the angle itself is from one ray to the other, and it's, think of light. It's projecting in that direction, right? So tell me what letters are on the interior of the angle ABC. The D and the G, right? Not angle. So those are points, D and G. Now, what points are on the exterior? Points F and H. Now, if you have a colored pen or a highlighter, it might be helpful to highlight, because you have two pictures here. So you could highlight that that was the interior and that this is the exterior. If you don't have a colored pen, then just take your pencil and just circle them. Just circle like, okay, you know, look here, look here. That's exterior, that's interior. Believe it or not, we are on our last page. I told you that this was really quick, which is the most important page, which is why I liked this flip book. There are 3 vocab words with angles that you probably already know. They are acute, right, or obtuse. I had to get strategic with how I put this up here because there's not a lot of room. You need to know that an acute angle measures less than 90. We're going to make a note right here. Measure of angle A. If it is acute, not ugly, but acute. There you go. You know what you call a geometry teacher's baby? A cute one. Sorry. That's it. I'm done. That's too much for Monday. We're going to make a note that it has to measure less than 90. Yeah, I don't do candy cart. You are welcome to buy candy at any given time and bring it in here, but I don't let you interrupt and go to the door to buy candy. Yes, it is. Can't stand it. Huh? No, I just don't agree with it being on a regular basis interrupting class. I'm going to make a note that the angle has to stay between 0 and 90 because technically, what's the definition of an acute angle? It's anything greater than 0 but less than 90. So what I'm fixing to write right here, 0 degrees, and then this inequality sign, I'm going to write angle A, and then another inequality sign, 90 degrees. The way that that is read is you say angle A has to be, always read it from the name, greater than 0, and at the same time, less than 90. So that's called an in-between inequality. It's called compound, meaning it has 2 conditions that have to be met. It has to stay higher than 0, but less than 90. Could be. All right, what's a right triangle? 90 degrees. And what notation do we draw to show it's 90 without writing 90? The little square, right? You're going to make a little square and you're going to make a note that that is the symbol. It means 90 degrees. So what does the measure of angle B have to be? It has to be 90, and I'm going to write the word exactly. That's because if it was 89.9, is that a right angle? No. Nope, there's no rounding. If it was 90.01, is that a right angle? No. Now, what if it's drawn this way? That's a left angle. No, I'm just kidding. There is I have a friend who's a middle school teacher. She always draws her right angles to the right. And her class one day, she switched it up. And one of the kids was like, is that a left angle? Because it was opening to the left. But anyways, if it is opening to the left, it's still a right angle. Okay? It's still a right angle. And then the last one, obtuse, more than 90. I want you to, we have a lot going on here. So for this one right here, we're going to make a note, more than 90, but less than 180. So the inequality, just like the one we did over here, for this one would look like this. It's got to be more than 90. This is angle C. But less than 180. So that's what the inequality would look like. Angle C is between 90 and 180. And then just a refresher of something you've already learned, I want you to box this in. An angle bisector divides an angle into two congruent parts. Right here, if ray DG is an angle bisector, what mark, although it doesn't look like it, but I can come to the picture and make a congruent mark to let me know that they are equal. Now let's write a congruent statement. I want you to name the first angle congruent to the second angle, and I want you to write it right here. So your name of the first angle is congruent to the second angle. Your name of the first angle is congruent to the second angle. Did you call the first one? Trace the letters C, D, G. And then the second one would be G, D, F, right? Okay, we're done with that flip book. Now I'm going to pass you the next piece of paper. There's no cutting and gluing this time. The next paper is called Angle Pairs, and this is where we go a little deeper with it. And we actually do the math behind it.
What are you talking about? I have it.
All right.
Yeah, I got mine.
Well, how'd you get it? Because I don't got her.
No, they still need it. Oh, that's weird. I'm trying to remember your name. Mason? Huh? Yeah, hold on.
Are we practicing with it?